The Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin, will forever be known as one of the most important figures in the history of not only the WWE, but the sport of professional wrestling. The bird-flipping, beer-drinking, self-described redneck stunned his way into the hearts of many fans with his anti-heroic behavior and battle against the corporate establishment. Stone Cold embodied everything America wanted at the time, an edgy, I don't give a damn attitude with the courage to whoop his boss's ass. Steve Austin was the poster child of the Attitude Era and had a great impact on the wrestling boom of the late 90s. Born Steve Anderson, Stone Cold's mother and father divorced when he was only a year old. His mom Beverly would remarry a man named Ken Williams, and the WWE superstar would have his name legally changed to Steve Williams. Austin's earliest wrestling days saw him performing under his real name. He trained at a wrestling school run by gentleman Chris Adams, who performed for WCCW at the time. When he was billed in a match against Dr. Death Steve Williams for the same promotion, Stone Cold changed his in-ring name to Steve Austin, paying homage to his birthplace of Austin, Texas. The Texas Rattlesnake wasn't always the cold-blooded outlaw we know from his finer years. In the early 90s, Steve Austin's character was far from an outlaw. As a matter of fact, before the beer cans and head shaving, Steve's persona was directed for something a bit more stunning. Stone Cold's career truly began in WCW NWA under the moniker Stunning Steve Austin, a long platinum blonde hair pretty boy who wore bedazzling tights and entrance attire somewhat reminiscent of someone akin to Jerry the King Lawler. He was managed by wrestling valet Lady Blossom, whom he would be married to from 1992 until 1999. Weeks after Austin's WCW debut, he quickly won the WCW World Television Championship from Bobby Eaton. Later that year, he joined the Dangerous Alliance, which was managed by Paul E. Dangerously, now more famously known as Paul Heyman, the current advocate for the Beast, Brock Lesnar! After his stint with the soon disbanding Dangerous Alliance, Austin would form the Hollywood Blondes with tag team partner Brian Pillman in '93. It would not be long before the duo acquired the WCW World Tag Team titles from the team of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Shane Douglas. Before the Blondes could defend their titles at the Clash of Champions 23, Pillman suffered a real-life injury, causing Austin to team up with the NXT commissioner we know as William Regal. Austin and Regal lost the titles to Arn Anderson and Ric Flair. Austin ended up attacking Pillman upon his return. The duo had a match at Clash of Champions 25 in which Austin came out victorious. At the following Starrcade, Austin beat Dusty Rhodes for the WCW US title. After losing the title to Ricky Dragon Steamboat, Austin won the title back and again lost it to Jim Duggan in a match that lasted 35 seconds. In 1995, after suffering an injury, Eric Bischoff fired Austin because he didn't see value in keeping the Texas Rattlesnake on WCW's payroll. However, Steve Austin would soon be hired by Paul Heyman to perform in ECW. As Austin was nurturing an injury, he could not perform in the ring and instead was featured in many vignettes, which at times got controversial. Steve Austin called Eric Bischoff out on ECW TV, planting the seeds for what soon became the Stone Cold character. Austin thanks his time in ECW and Paul Heyman in developing his microphone skills. Mic skills aren't all that Austin got, however, as his infamous Stone Cold Stunner was directly influenced by the Whippersnapper, the finishing move of Mikey Whipwreck, whom Austin faced for the ECW World Heavyweight title on more than one occasion. Not long after his time in ECW, Steve Austin was signed by WWE, where he was originally known as the Ringmaster, joining Ted DiBiase's $1 Million Corporation, and soon holding the $1 Million Championship. Later, Austin would become unimpressed with being referred to as the Ringmaster. He requested a name change and officially became Stone Cold Steve Austin in March of 1996. Austin's career took off when he won the 1996 King of the Ring, a position originally intended for Triple H, who was being punished for his involvement with the infamous Madison Square Garden curtain call. After defeating Jake the Snake Roberts, Austin delivered the jaw-dropping promo that gave birth to Austin 316. From there, Austin would solidify his value as a top heel, quickly challenging Bret Hart to what would become a year-long feud. This rivalry would come to a turning point at WrestleMania 13 in a submission match with Ken Shamrock as the special guest referee. During the bout, Austin was busted open, bleeding profusely. Hart would eventually lock Austin in a sharpshooter, to which the Texas Rattlesnake refused to tap. Austin would lose the match by passing out due to blood loss. Even after the bell was rung, Hart refused to let go of the submission, causing a heel turn. Austin's refusal for help after heart attack turned him face. This double turn would soon lead into Stone Cold's anti-hero character. During the continued rivalry with the Hart Foundation, Austin won the tag titles with the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. When Michaels got injured, Austin was offered help from Dude Love, Mick Foley's seductive cool cat hippie alter ego. At SummerSlam 97, Austin faced Bret's brother Owen Hart for the IC title with added stipulation that if Austin lost, he would have to kiss Owen Hart's ass. During the match, Austin received a piledriver that legit broke his neck, but he continued the match, eventually winning via a roll-up pin. Austin would succumb to his injuries though, however, and was forced to vacate the IC title and tag team title. Austin would regain the IC belt from Owen Hart at the following Survivor Series. After an Intercontinental title storyline with The Rock, during which Austin famously threw the title in the New Hampshire River, Stone Cold would go on to win the '98 Royal Rumble, facing Shawn Michaels for the WWF title at WrestleMania, with Mike Tyson as the special guest referee. After unveiling the Smoking Skull Championship, Austin's custom variation on the WWF title, he would begin his most heated and notorious rivalry with the boss Vince McMahon. This feud would result in some of the highest rated and most memorable WWF segments, including Vince relentlessly interfering in Austin's matches, Austin drowning McMahon and the corporation in beer, and one of history's most memorable cage matches at the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in '99. Austin's prolific career would continue through the early 2000s as he feuded with the likes of The Rock, Triple H, Chris Jericho, and others. Austin won the Royal Rumble 3 times and held the WWF title a total of 6 times. Austin was even set to take on Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18, but when rumors have it that the two didn't get along and refused to lose to each other, Stone Cold went on to defeat Scott Hall at that WrestleMania while Hogan instead faced The Rock. In 2002, Austin walked out on WWE, knocking on the creative team and the poor direction he felt they were giving him. A highlight of these allegations was Austin being booked to lose against, at the time, rookie Brock Lesnar in a King of the Ring qualifying match on Monday Night Raw. Austin felt if he was going to lose to Lesnar, it would need to be on a bigger stage for the match to have any sort of meaning. In 2003, Austin mended his ties with McMahon and agreed to return after paying a hefty fine of $250,000. Austin had only a small handful of matches before stepping into the squared circle for a final time in a losing effort against The Rock at WrestleMania 19. After getting quote-unquote fired by Eric Bischoff on the following Raw, Austin announced his final retirement from in-ring action due to injury complications. Austin would continue being a part of WWE TV as Raw's sheriff, an authoritative figure similar to that of a commissioner. In 2004, Austin and WWE couldn't come to contract agreement and he left the company. While away from the ring, Austin began a career in acting, marking his debut in the 2005 remake of The Longest Yard starring Adam Sandler. Austin got his first starring role in the movie Condemned, a film about 10 convicts who are being broadcast on an illegal game show and must fight to the death for freedom. Stone Cold would sporadically appear in WWE again, but never in any key roles. In 2009, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. In 2012, he began hosting the reality competition Redneck Island for the Country Music Channel, which so far has been running for 5 seasons. He also hosts Steve Austin's Broken Skull Challenge, which is also in its 5th season. When not on TV, Austin is running his own podcast, The Steve Austin Show, as well as the more mature Steve Austin Show Unleashed. He still makes appearances in WWE and has done some podcasts for the WWE Network, talking to the likes of Vince, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Mick Foley, Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels. In his time off, he's kicking back with a cold one on his Broken Skull Ranch. And this was Wrestling Origins, Stone Cold, Steve Austin. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching Wrestling Hub, and I will see you later with more wrestling videos.